Hey, welcome to Dollar Views. I'm Brian Gillis.
And I'm Stephen Montmanex.
We're just two Long Beach State film grads with a lifelong passion for cinema trying to put our money where our mouths are.
And we decided to make our BAs mean something by giving our 2 cents on the weekly film releases.
Whether it's the cute romantic comedy,
Or the latest cult classics,
from the little-known indies and docs,
to the latest Michael Bay masterpiece.
we go over it all, $1 at a time.
You've built an empire from the ground up.
Mr. Hale, it's an honor. The man who built New York.
People will insist that your buildings make you immortal. Now, as you slip away, do you feel immortal? We offer humanity's greatest minds more time to fulfill their potential. Designed to offer you the very best of the human experience. It's alive, an empty vessel. If we do this, there's no turning back. Your old life is over.
What's that?
Something to stop your heart.
What?
It's something to stop your heart.
Normally, I like to have a little bit of time to at least think about the movie before we review it, but here I'm glad that we're doing this right now because I'm forgetting it so fast right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Pretty generic and forgetful.
I really wanted to root for this. I didn't really see that much marketing. The first thing that I saw was...
I saw none.
Yeah, I saw just a standee in the movie theater and just the title "Selfless" and the tagline there, and already that had my interest. It's a very intriguing title.
What was the tagline?
Well, I don't remember. It's
Something about gods,
something,
right?
you know, like
God created man. Yeah.
And then man created immortality. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And then there's Ben Kingsley and Ryan Reynolds, and those are two pretty big names. You know, that's enough to get interest in that. And Tarsem Singh, who's, you know, I wouldn't.
Tarsem?
Yeah, it's Tarsem.
Okay.
I wouldn't say, you know, it's not a director whose work I get excited about, but I'm at least intrigued by.
Yeah, he definitely has a certain visual.
Yeah, he's known as a visual stylist, and there's always that.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. Like I said, I didn't see a trailer for this. The only thing I saw was a poster, and that was it. I looked at the Wikipedia page just so I got a quick outline when we were making our calendar, and just like same thing you said, the director, the 2 stars, like the undertitle, just that it sold me. Just the image on the poster.
Yeah,
you know, it kind of reminded me of the poster for Lockout, the Luc Besson movie with
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, similar blue and sci-fi.
I was really hoping that this would be a bit of a break from all the franchises that we've been getting for this summer.
Yeah, it was, but...
Yeah, but this is just kind of, you know, a movie just being dumped out in the middle of the summer. It was supposed to come out several times, I think first
probably
in February, then in April.
Seems like a February movie.
Yeah, and the second weekend of, like, right after the 4th of July weekend, it always seems like that's the dump month, or dump weekend for some movies in the summer.
It started pretty strong. You know, I thought even though Ben Kingsley was, like, staring into deep space, I thought he was blind at first. But I was surprised how quickly his character vanished, and then it became the Ryan Reynolds show.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to call the setup good, but I mean, I'm at least intrigued, and I was willing to stick with it and see where it went. And it goes on for, I want to say,
minutes?
probably with Ben Kingsley, probably about 20,
15 to 20.
15 to 20 minutes, and then, you know, it keeps going with Ryan Reynolds until it gets to just a really bland and boring thriller territory.
Yeah,
but
I didn't
before
know
then
this was a thriller. I thought this was like a sci-fi. I don't know.
It could have been some like Ex Machina, that would have been nice. But
then
it gets
along those lines.
It's just
it definitely starts that
whatever thriller. Yeah, and it has interesting ideas. The idea of immortality is an interesting one. Yeah, and Matthew Good kills it. Yeah, and there's also some stuff that I found interesting. Like there's just some interesting things with editing that just add to like a little bit of disorientation.
Stuff, the quick cuts.
Yeah, and you
with
see
the
you see 5 seconds of the scene that's about to happen, then you go back to the scene that you were at, and you take a while to get back there.
First 2 montages, the body training and the New Orleans basketball sequence, I thought those were great. Up until right after the first act ends, like when Ryan Reynolds was out, you know, partying and living it up. Right up until that point, I was like, this movie's good, I like it. And then after that, I started getting real tired, and I thought I was going to fall asleep in the movie.
Yeah, and that was 2 hours ago for me.
Yeah. I might drive
Yeah.
home right now. I was like, oh, good to know the movie wasn't putting me to sleep. I'm just literally tired.
I mean, that's it's just kind of unfortunate that this turned out to be what it was, especially for Tarsum. I mean, I guess
I
I want
didn't
to say
see
the
Mirror
stealth.
Mirror, so
No, I haven't either.
so
But
he might be on the same route of
well,
mediocrity.
maybe. But I mean,
now.
at least Mirror Mirror, just based on the trailer,
Uh-huh.
there's some pretty extravagant production design there, and there's some interesting sets here that are nice. But yeah, he definitely holds back on the style. The movie, it's very
He was
very
you could
cold
tell
and
he was a
restrained,
hired
which
hands.
yeah, which actually does fit for the movie, but then just once it becomes a full-on thriller. It's just completely uninteresting and doesn't.
It wasn't
really-
a good thriller.
Yeah,
You've seen this before. Very similar story, especially, and it doesn't connect because my problem was. Okay, well, this is Ben Kingsley driving Ryan Reynolds, but yet he has access to like the deep files of his brain, like his motor controls or whatever, the skills that he's
or
picked
just
up.
his memories that are
Yeah,
from it.
you can kind of pick them up, but I had never at any point thought it was Ben Kingsley, which is a problem. There had to be that connection there, and there is some dialogue or some deja vu moments that kind of work. But I think it's just the disconnect of having Ben Kingsley for maybe 20 minutes and then Ryan Reynolds for about an hour and 30. It was some weird pacing issue, not pacing but balance.
Well, another thing that just really that didn't work for me, or I feel like not only is it obvious in the direction that this is going in, but it's clear like from the first second that they set up the twist with the flashbacks or the memories that he's having.
Pretty clear what's happening.
Right away, you know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Then you watch the YouTube video later, and you know
You
exactly
can
who
tell,
that is.
yeah. It's
I mean-
too obvious.
This is a pet peeve that I have with movies all the time now. I'm just really tired of everything being solved with a Google search.
Well, I mean,
And I mean,
if you're
you
good
know,
with
it's-
Google, you can solve about anything.
you can figure out stuff, but it's like
Not like
it's making it
this,
clear
yeah, like
what
there-
we're supposed to think.
It just so happens that the first YouTube link
lingers
Wait,
on
no,
the
no, no, no.
specific
Not the
page,
first
yeah.
YouTube link. The first link was Wikipedia, and that the YouTube video that was necessary was the one attached to the Wikipedia page.
And then he looks for a specific image, and that image says the city where it is located.
I thought that was true. I thought that could definitely happen.
Where you open it up and it's going to tell you the city
Yeah,
specifically?
I think it would. I think it definitely would. In that
Yeah,
a very
but what are the
similar manner.
chances of that?
They're not astronomically low. He did several searches to find that, MacGuffin, if you will. My problem more so is, and I didn't even see the full movie, but now when I'm thinking about it, just in terms of title, Limitless, like the pills thing. I
was
said,
thinking of that.
I didn't see it, but I know that there's a similar thing going on there, except the difference is instead of becoming a new person, it's like your brain makes you a new person.
It's trying to get you to your best self in a way, which, yeah, it is similar, but Limitless, even that managed to be a lot more entertaining, and it moved at a fast
making a
pace.
CBS
That
show,
even,
so.
yeah.
Which I want to see
Which,
the
yeah.
movie, just because.
No, I do think Limitless is worth checking out.
Yeah, I remember I saw like maybe 20 minutes of it. I saw the trailer. I remember want to watch it, but like, I walked into a room and someone was watching it, and what I saw definitely looked interesting. Because I mean, Bradley Cooper, even in the words, he still has a certain charisma that you want to watch on screen.
That too. There's
Definitely
also
don't
just
recommend that movie. Not a good
there's
watch.
just something aesthetically interesting though about Limitless, which is not at all pleasant, not at all present here.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, there's very little here that is exciting. Like I said, for most of it, what I liked was in the first 40 minutes or so, right up until he leaves New Orleans, and then I didn't care anymore at that point. Like if they had turned this into a TV show instead, and that was the pilot, that'd been amazing. Instead, you just get like an hour and a half more of a movie that isn't going anywhere fast.
Yeah, this is interesting. This movie was financed by Endgame,
Mm-hmm. Who?
and
what did
they
they
were
do?
one of the financiers on Looper.
Yeah, I did.
And I think
feel some
that's part
similar
of how
things
this
going on there.
That is part of how this movie did get financed too. Was they were able to do some of the pre-sales because they were able to get Ryan Reynolds and Ben Kingsley attached, and
Interesting.
because they were successful with Looper, that got them the credit that they needed. So I mean, that's that's how this got made, I guess. And what's interesting is completely forgot that Gramercy was making a comeback. I guess this is their second feature.
Yeah, I was excited because I remember we did like a pre-game chat.
Yeah, we talked
them.
about it.
Which is exciting. I mean, even though if you see, did you have the Suffragette trailer attached to your movie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought that looked horrible. Maybe that was because of the Fleetwood Mac song that was attached to it.
That's it's a trailer, yeah.
Yeah, I hate when they do that. Something out of the time period. But I liked how, or I didn't like rather, under Focus Features it said a Comcast company. Even before Comcast bought them, Universal didn't advertise under that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if this movie is going to be financially successful enough.
It definitely won't be.
Insidious 3, though, was the first one, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And that did pretty well, but that's more than
horror.
One company that's there.
Yeah, it's also, it's easy to make money on your horror movies. Whereas this, I think anyone that is into sci-fi kind of got their fill with Ex Machina. Like, that's the kind of movie they wanted. And then this is on the outskirts of that and in between just, like a body-switching fantasy film.
I mean, it's funny that you bring up Ex Machina because it's to me it kind of felt the same, except I do have the same problems, but Ex Machina goes into that, it becomes a thriller like closer to the third act.
But it does it really well because it's still
it does it fairly well.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
not enough
a slow
for me
burn at least.
Yeah, not enough for me to like really dislike the movie, but I still feel like it was not as good as when it started.
Yeah, well, I thought the strongest stuff in Ex Machina was the individual character interactions.
Yeah.
And then also the hard sci-fi stuff, and just the dance scene. That disco sequence was amazing. The Sister Sledge song.
Man, you and dancing,
he's
dude.
the best. Hey, every movie needs a good dance sequence. I think Kevin Smith will say the same. Look, I mean, it's not a good sequence, but the Clerks 2, my Jackson 5 number.
Hey, what's wrong with that sequence?
It's not good.
It's fun. I mean,
it's definitely fun, but it's just like, what just happened? This is still the Kevin Smith movie, right?
Yeah, those so selfless. Look, not much to say. Really, not worth the dollar. It's too bad,
Definitely
because I really wanted to like this.
it has some certain things going for it. And it definitely looks good. Matthew Good, he's a standout.
Yeah, he gives the best performance in the movie.
Derek Luke wasn't bad either. Just very cliched role.
Not in there for long either.
Yeah, it's not, well, sort of. Yeah, even with the charms of Ryan Reynolds, this is a very sad, like, paycheck movie. I don't know if it's because he wasn't interested or just there wasn't much there to get the crowd into it. But yeah, I agree with Steve. This is not worth your dollar. Maybe on Netflix if you're bored. I've definitely watched worse on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's once again, you brought up Ryan Reynolds, and I was thinking this while I was watching the movie. It's sad that he's a charismatic guy on screen, but he just never, ever, ever gets the right movie.
That's not true.
Even
Van
if the role's
Wilder,
perfect.
he's great in Van Wilder.
Yeah, and Van Wilder, but I mean,
that's like his only one. Well,
yeah, and even then, I didn't find the movie that funny to begin with back then.
I loved it.
It's a decent movie to watch on Comedy Central when I'm bored, and there's some good chuckle-worthy moments, and I remember the movie, but I don't think it's one of the funniest thing I've ever seen.
No, but I mean, I think that plus, like he's pretty good in Blade Trinity. Blade Trinity is bad, but he's pretty good in it.
Yeah, he's good in Green Lantern. I mean, he's
Yeah,
usually
even-
good
same
in
story, though.
everything that he is in. Just
It's usually not the projects that are good.
Yeah,
I
it just
tried
never really
watching
helps
Buried. I watched maybe like 15 minutes of it. I was like, oh, this is literally a one-man show. I still have it on my computer. I'll watch it eventually. But he's supposed to be great in that.
well, here's hoping that Deadpool gives him what he needs.
I think Deadpool is his character. Like, he seems very into it. I started following him on Twitter just because of that. You can tell.
Yeah, he was the best thing in Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, and they butchered the Deadpool character.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you can just tell that he wants that film to be made, and he wants the fans. He got them to make a hard R comic book movie, that people actually know about. It's not Kick-Ass. So, high expectations for that.
I don't know. I'm still skeptical just because it's that Ryan Reynolds curse, I guess. That's what I'm calling it.
Is it a curse? Maybe.
It feels like it. Like, no matter how hard he tries, somehow the movie manages to screw him over.
Yeah, it fucks up. Yeah.
I mean, he's
Sad.
been in good stuff on the side. I love Adventureland, but he's not the lead in that.
Oh, yeah, he has that bit role.
Yeah.
I think he has... Oh, Waiting. He has a similar role in Waiting. I like that movie.
I still need to see it.
It's pretty good. Waiting,
yeah.
I think Waiting and Accepted are, like, good... that's a good double feature. Like a Justin Long double feature.
I like
Justin Long.
Accepted.
Yeah.
Well, I need to watch something again that I like, that will make me feel good after this.
Yeah, this is not fun.
I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but it's...
Put it this way. We did
it's just a bummer.
A film commentary for Batman Forever last night. I would argue that film is more enjoyable than this.
It's much more fun.
Yeah, and that
Way
is
more
fun, but it might be better.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think of all the stuff that we've reviewed on this podcast, is probably the worst one.
It's definitely the worst.
I mean, at
Tomorrowland is only a notch above it.
No, I like Tomorrowland. Like I enjoyed it enough to say that I like it. I did acknowledge the problems with it, but I
thought it was
think it's a pretty
fun.
movie. Yeah,
it was a fun movie for the kids.
Aloha, I enjoy way more than this, even if lots of that movie doesn't make any sense.
That's a relief.
Yeah,
I'll still defend the shit out of that movie.
Hey, it may not have been like getting laid for me, but
you can't steal my jokes like weeks removed.
I guess in comparison to Selfless, Aloha's a bit more like a hand job, but
well. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope it's been a pleasure. If you enjoyed it, you can find updates and when episodes go live on Facebook and Twitter at Dollar Reviews. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Brian Gillis, that's BryonGillis, and also under the same name on the lovely site Letterboxd, which acts as my film diary, where I rate the films I watch on an almost daily basis, write the occasional review, and even sometimes compile lists.
You can also find me on Twitter at S_MTX. And also follow my film diary at letterboxd.com. My username is also S_MTX. There I log everything I watch and sometimes write brief reviews.
If you loved what we said, you'd like to contribute some talking points, or you just want to laugh at us and send us hate mail, you can do so at dollar.review@gmail.com.
And since we don't know where you're listening from, you can find our recent reviews on iTunes by searching Dollar Reviews. We're also on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/dollarreviews. And if you're sad that you missed a review and you can't find it on either of those platforms, you can find our entire archive at youtube.com/dollarreview. Once again, that's dollar review, one word without the S.
Until next time, keep the change.